Well, that setup only took 40 minutes. Hey there, pimps and players, it's your boy. No, that's not gonna be my intro. No, I can't. I'm doing the thing. This is what the ominous, artsy build-up. Well, it was this. This is what I'm doing. Well, I'm not playing Wind Waker. I'm not playing the 20-minute playable demo. Pre-gaming it. Okay. This is the before the real video stuff, because you probably, if you clicked on this, it said Ocarina of Time, and that's what I'm playing. See, it's right here. This is I'm playing this. Okay, so the setup. I'm playing the GameCube version of Ocarina of Time. I have an N64 and I have the N64 version. I was trying to, when I record things, I try to have as authentic of an experience as possible while still maintaining like general quality, while still like having quality control. So what that means is, one second, let me turn this down a little bit. What that means is, like, if I can do original console, and if the original console version is like the best version to do, then I'll do that. I think as far as like general quality of life things, I think the GameCube version, from what I remember looking up, was just a cleaner version of the game. Either had to do with something, either had to do with frame rates, or I think resolution was a big thing too. But to help further the resolution of this, I'm running this through the RetroTink 5X, which is an upscaler with a bunch of nice little tweaks and settings that you can tweak the image of things. It makes a really nice quality. Here's the thing, it's not gonna make an old game HD. That's not what it does. But what it does do is it allows a game to be displayed on modern monitors and television screens without it looking like absolute mud. It's really, really great, and I love it. I use it for any time. I have like a huge OLED TV, so I use it anytime to play old games on that, and they look great. Most of them look great. Sometimes it really depends on the game. You know, like if you're doing split screen and Time Splitters 2, it's pretty crusty. It's maybe a little crusty, you know. But it's playable. Like it's still better looking than if you, I don't know, ran like a really low quality upscaler, or you just used like normal cables and stuff. But then also beyond that, I also have an M cable. An M cable bumps up the resolution of whatever image you run through it up by like 1 tier. So I have the RetroTink 5X. There's so many things. Okay, let me break this down. So I'm playing a GameCube game on the Wii, which already actually does improve visual fidelity. But then I'm not using the out-of-the-box cables on the Wii. I'm using the component cables. I bought component cables for it, which ups the image of, which improves the visual fidelity of whatever video is being displayed from the Wii. That increases the resolution. Those component cables are running into the RetroTink 5X, which is further improving the visual quality. Instead of a normal HDMI cable, I'm using an M cable, which is further improving the visual quality. So this is the best this game can look on all original hardware, no modding, not using emulation, not using any remakes or remastering. This is the original game. The original. I mean, I guess it's on a GameCube disc, being played out of. I guess that's kind of, you could say. Is that considered emulation? It's the original game. I mean, I don't know. But not using computer like a computer emulator. I guess PC emulator. It's the best the game can look. The original game can look with just base hardware. I don't have the best cable. I have an S-Video cable for my GameCube. I upgraded the cable for that. There's a better cable, but it's so rare that you would have to spend like $300 or something to get it. It was like a super rare cable that was only released in, I think, at a select time, in select locations, in select countries. It was weird. I can't even remember what the cable was called. But it was a cable that's specifically for the GameCube. But honestly, S-Video is already a huge jump in quality. Playing Super Mario Sunshine on my OLED is so great with all this stuff. It's amazing. I don't recommend getting any of these things if you're like the most casual of casual gamers. Like, you can, or if you just like have a CTR or CRT, CRT television. I have a CRT television, but I don't have things hooked up to it all the time, so that's why. And also, it's like, I have a nice, big, beautiful, I invested a lot of money in a really nice television. I kind of want to use it for as much as I can. The CRT was free. Thank you, my friend Megan. Bless your heart for the CRT. But yeah, so that's my setup. Well, we're playing the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition promotional disc. That comes with Zelda, you can see, Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and then it jumps straight to Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. This should be how I play Majora's Mask, as well, after I'm done with Ocarina of Time. It also comes with demo, well, a movie promoting, because it was a promoted Wind Waker, because that was coming out, I think, at the time this came out. And it has a 20-minute playable demo, which is really cool. I played the heck out of this, because I didn't have Wind Waker for the longest time. And then we're actually going to watch this, because this encapsulates all the games. I made one of these kind of myself for all the 3D games. This is just a legacy, same thing as what I did with Metroid, but I'm going to be doing it with Zelda games, but specifically the 3D Zelda games. I feel like 2D Zelda games and 3D Zelda games are distinct enough, especially with the evolution of the 3D Zelda games. They're distinct enough to warrant their own things. Maybe at some point, I don't know. 2D Zelda games aren't my favorite. I like Link to the Past, but I never beat it. And I like the Link Between Worlds, but I never beat it. I think the first two Zelda games are like fun. I really like they animated the original covers with like things, like assets, and like they had put like glimmer effects on stuff. It's really cool. This is a really cool disc. I found this randomly at a play-and-trade. I don't even know if play-and-trades exist anywhere. It was like a less great version of a GameStop, and I mean, GameStop is already not amazing, especially nowadays, but it was like a lesser version of that. That's why I made a retrospective of the 3D games, and I forgot that this edition has one of these in there. I'm glad I made my own. I like mine. I think mine was really cool. I'm proud of it, but I feel like I had a cool vibe. I used, oh my gosh, using the Ganon's laugh. It's like that was like my favorite edit that I made in there, though, is having Ganon's laugh over part of the video, cutting to the stuff. Oh, well, that's later on. That's Wind Waker stuff. I've been trying to avoid watching anybody play any of these games the moment I had an idea to do this Legacy. This is all in preparation, just same thing. I did the Metroid Legacy in preparation for playing Dread, so I can have a better understanding and appreciation of that game. I'm doing the same with these ones. The difference here is I had never played Metroid games. I have played the heck out of like all of these games, except this one. I started this one, I was so confused, I got so lost, and I never beat it. This is going to be a trip. I'm actually going to use a guide when I play this and see how that goes. Because I want to do everything in it, but I don't think I have the... It's an older game. I didn't grow up with it. I mean, I'll try to go in and through it and see how I do on my own starting off. But I think I'm going to make sure I hit all this, because I want to see everything in this game. If I'm gonna play it like for the first time, I want to get all the masks. I want to do everybody's tasks and side missions, because most of this game is side missions, oddly enough, which is interesting. I have played this game before. I don't know yet if I want to be 100%ing all the games. I might just be playing most of them casually. And then obviously this is all going to lead up all the way to Breath of the Wild. And then maybe by the time I'm done with that, hopefully Breath of the Wild 2 will be out. And hopefully it won't be out before I finish. Like, Dread was out for a while before I finished. But I feel like I'm starting this one early enough. But then again, these games are long. Metroid games are quick. Each of the Metroid games is super quick. These ones are long. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is the collector's edition. From what I understand, I was told that these were games that people who worked at Nintendo were given. Like people who worked at Nintendo were given these. I don't know if that's true or if like it's partially true. I know there's another version that has... There's another port of Ocarina of Time that I think comes with the Master Quest as well. And Majora's Mask. But I don't know. This was a really sick find. Best thing I ever got from Play and Trade. Thank goodness I never got rid of it. I had a bad tendency when I was a kid to get rid of games after I had beaten them, because I'm like, oh, well, I'm never going to touch this again, right? And then a couple years would go by, or when I got older, I'd be like, oh, I remember that game. I really love that game. Whatever happened to it? Oh, yeah, I got rid of it because I'm stupid. Because I'm a big, dumb boy. No more. I'm never getting rid of anything ever again. I'm going to hoard all my games like a dragon. Okay. Let's start this off with a little retrospective. So sit back and relax. In commemoration for this, I have been saving the greenest thing I had at my disposal. My last can of Mountain Dew Thrashed Apple, which I think I was still drinking those back when I was still doing the Metroid games. Between that and now, I played streamed the entirety of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That being an example of, instead of playing the Wii version of that game, I played the Definitive Edition, because if there's a really nice remaster, now you might be wondering, well, why don't you play the remaster of Ocarina of Time, and in Majora's Mask? Well, one, I wouldn't do Majora's Mask, because I've heard the Majora's Mask remaster for the 3DS isn't actually that good. Now, I've heard the Ocarina of Time one is really good. I actually own it. I have played, like, half of it, I think, and it is good, but I want what my core memory of Ocarina of Time is. My core memory being crusty, janky, weird, eerie, polygonal Link walking down it like walking through a forest with like the Deku Babas popping out of the ground and stuff like that. Really crusty, jagged-looking plant monsters popping out of the ground. That's what I remember. That's what I grew up remembering this game as, and that's what I want to play this as. And most importantly, I think Ocarina of Time holds up well. Like, I think it's still extremely playable. So, yeah, okay, let's check this out, because I forgot this was on here. Oh man, the video quality. Oh, these are recorded These are recorded videos in a GameCube disc. I do have a soft spot for Link to the Past. I do think it's cool. Actually played these games. I've heard good things about them though. Now sadly I won't be going into Majora's Mask blind. I know everything that happens in Majora's Mask, I've seen it beginning to end, but I'm still excited to play through it. I mean, I was really excited to play through it originally. Full Sword Adventure. I've had the GameCube version of this game too. I actually think it's pretty fun. Oh, I can't wait to play Wind Waker again. The vibes in this game are immaculate. And then I think it's gonna stop here because I don't think. Yeah, no, Twilight Princess wasn't out yet. Twilight Princess was one of the games that came out on both the GameCube and the Wii. You know, oddly enough, I feel the most excited to revisit. That's fun. That was a nice perspective. I feel, you know what this retrospective proves to me is that I could have totally been hired to edit something together because I feel like that was no more or less complicated than what I made for my channel. They just had like a slightly better video quality on some of the gameplay. You know, I was super excited to play Majora's Mask originally when I was a kid, but because I mean, just from watching that retrospective, I was like, dang, this game looks crazy. But that game's very like not. I would say it's kind of archaic. How you play it, the order you have to do things. Again, most of the game is side tasks, and it's time management too. And the time management stressed me out to no end. I feel more equipped to do it now. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a heck of a time, but I think I'm more prepared now that I understand the game better now and I'm older. I think I'm most excited for Twilight Princess though, honestly. Twilight Princess is one of those games where I have I never say it's my favorite, but then every time I think back to it, I remember it more fondly. Like it becomes better in my mind. So I'm very excited to replay that one. I actually played that one probably the most out of any of them, next to like Wind Waker. Here's the thing, none of the games are bad, right? So like I think the game that has to be placed at the very bottom is Skyward Sword, but Skyward Sword isn't bad though. I don't think so. I think Skyward Sword is really good. I think what it does very well. And thank goodness, thank you Nintendo, for making a port that gets rid of the motion controls, because that was the biggest thing holding that game back. And I played up to the past the first dungeon, no, past the first 2 dungeons on the port, and then I dropped it because that's just how. Apparently, unless I record or stream something, I just can't seem to finish a game. But I played the that port, and the combat is so nice. It's actually really fun when you're not having to do motion controls for everything. That game has other problems though. It has problems with pacing and repetition. It's like it's the biggest offender of the classic rule of threes Nintendo repetition kind of a thing. To a fault, let me tell you. And the world's not as big and there's not as much to do in it, you know? It's not like Wind Waker that has a massive ocean, or Ocarina of Time, it's probably a princess who both have like huge overworlds with a lot of side paths and caves and things to explore. It's very different. It's the most linear one. And what I think is hilarious about Skyward Sword is that they did the most linear one, the most story-driven linear Zelda game, and then they did the most open-ended non-linear Zelda game, because Breath of the Wild was right after that. I think that's amazing. I think like what a transition. Am I forgetting a Zelda game? No, okay, they didn't skip generations. Breath of the Wild, I forgot, came out. I was gonna say there wasn't one for the Wii U, but there was. But Breath of the Wild it was a multi-console thing. It came on the Wii U and the Switch. So technically, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be the Switch's own original version, like a Zelda game. Every console, you gotta do one. Anyways, I have stalled to heaven and back. It's time to do this. There's nothing left to say. Buckle up. The vibes are about to become immaculate. Yes, please, Rumble feature. I'm gonna let the whole thing run. Ocarina of Time. It's like Ocarina of Time is embedded. Like it's like in my. It's one of those pieces of media that's like. It's in my soul. Like it's in my veins. It was one of those games that I look back on and it made me like the sky was the limit. I would look at it. Oh, no spoilers. Oh, geez, a little bit of spoilers. Jeez, I know what happens. I've played the game before, but no, it's one of those games that like this intro. Gosh. This is how you start off again. This is that not your dad Zelda moment, you know? The first big 3D venture on your new console to show off your new hardware. The N64, of course, being not very strong actually. A lot of games on it suffer from a lot of problems. that goes without saying. You can't deny that. I love the N64. I love a lot of things from the N64. It is not very optimized, and games don't run very well on it. That's just true. Ocarina of Time, though. Everything about it, the music, the visuals, the tone, the setting, the atmosphere, it invades my headspace on a almost just frequently, so frequently. Oh, the sounds, a little jingle of pressing start. This shot right here. This shot alone, it's iconic. I mean, it is a huge entry in one of the longest running adventure game. And that's the interesting thing about the Zelda games too. They're not action games. They're not RPGs, really. They are very much tried and true adventure games. Like they are the truest sense of what an adventure game is. A definition of which I can't give you, because I don't really know how to exactly define it. I don't know how would you set parameters for what constitutes an adventure game. All I know is that this is that. If I was to dub another game an adventure game, I would be the only question I would ask is it like Zelda? I think that's the crazy thing. Now here's the thing. I try not to blindly, sing the praises of Nintendo. Oh my gosh, we're getting a lot of imagery here. It's kind of sick. Yeah, I try not to just blindly sing the praises of Nintendo. But I would be remiss if I didn't point out that Nintendo has created genres out of their games, right? Or at the very least they have defined them from the very beginning, from near the beginning of games, video games specifically. Like when you think of a 2D platforming shooter where you have to collect a bunch of items and upgrades and navigate a map and areas, that's called a Metroidvania. That is called a Metroidvania. It's like how there's a genre called the Souls-like. Sometimes a game comes around and it creates a genre. No doubt. Now, there's not really Zelda-like isn't really a thing, Zelda didn't create adventure games, but it's not in that category. It's not in the Metroid category where it's like, oh, you created a genre video game. No, it's not like that, but it did. I do think it defines adventure games. That I do believe. And I think it defined it so well that is what ultimately drew a lot of people turned a lot of people off of Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild kind of broke away from many of the conventions that defined Zelda, right? What I think is hilarious is that Breath of the Wild is very much like a Zelda game. It's the first one. The very 2D first one, right? Like Breath of the Wild is as much Zelda as that game is, which is wacky to think about. And it's not a one-for-one comparison, but the ties are there. Anyhow. Anyways. Here we go. And there's the classic theme. This is the fairy fountain theme, right? I think they always use the fairy fountain theme. Okay, let's do this. Let's just start down. Oh, I think this is my uncle. My uncle always goes by Bubba, and this is obviously me. We're actually going to erase this. Look at all that progress gone. Oh! Yikes, okay. And we're gonna start right here. Yeah, so I am going to treat this how I typically treat games, unless there is no name provided. I am very much I want to see a story about a character. And to me, Link is a character. He doesn't speak. You choose his dialogue options. You inhabit him, of course. But I think what you end up seeing as the games go on is Link becomes more and more of a character with each entry. Like, every single entry, the Link is his own character, and he is different across every single one. So I'm going to be Link throughout all of these games. I'm not going to name after myself or after anything else. Just going to be Link. Alright. With this, let's crack open the Mountain Dew. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's strong. Oh my gosh, that actually made my eyes water. Cry Woody. Okay. And with that, let's do it. I freaking love this scene. It's so freaking whimsical.
Hello.
Especially after how foreboding everything they show you before it is.
Hello.
Immediately establishing that you better get used to Navi prodding you at every single turn in this game. Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Let's remember that. Oh man, something gotta get used to at the beginning of this game is situations that give you pre-rendered backgrounds with like the fixed camera angles, all of Resident Evil. Oh, the music. I love it. Got a buzzer. Was that cool, Saria? Did you think that was cool? It doesn't even mention it. Whatever. What do I try? Oh, okay. Oh, did Link draw himself with a fairy in this? Oh, what is that? Could be a fairy. Also, I'm fighting like freaking Godzilla. Huh? Yeah, no, yeah, I got you. I don't think you talk to any other fairies in this game, which I think is interesting. Interesting. There's like this. There is like a weightiness to Link. I also have to. I'm gonna have to get used to not using the C stick to look around. That is not something they did in these older games. So? Hello? So? No fairy. What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. Without a fairy, I'm not a real man? Okay, no, I appreciate alternate standards, different place, different time, you know. Got a fairy. Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you. Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're gonna help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and a shield ready? What? You're right, I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Sheesh. Something I thought about not too long ago was the fact that in this opening bit is very I mean, obviously it's very fantastical. It's very fairy tale-esque, you know, like, oh, the boy without a fairy gets a fairy one day, you know, he's the chosen one. You gotta go face your destiny, and it's very like it's a childlike fantasy, you know. And I think Zelda in general kind of channels that. Well, you know, I mean, like the original game was based on Miyamoto as a kid exploring the area near his one of his homes, right? So obviously, of course, it's going to channel that. But I think what I like about... Oh, in case you're wondering what we're doing, you got to get money to buy a shield. So that's just going to be doing that for a quick second. I think what this game does really well is it presents you with what you... with like everything's going well for Link, you know? Everything's super good, cause you know he's finally, sure he had some nightmares the night before, but now he's finally got a fairy. He can be like everybody else. Oh, and the Deguchi wants to talk to him. Oh, that's amazing. Things couldn't be going better. But like. Oh. And this, you know, this whole area is like a tutorial. You know, you get equipped and you're gonna go talk to the Deku But there is like this. I mean, the opening nightmare sequence. But then also like the Deguchi's words to Navi about like, oh, it's finally time for him. You need to go to him to guide him to me. Like, Navi's not here because we're getting a fairy like everybody else. Navi's here because she's got a job to do. And there is like this air of there is like a gloominess to the whole thing, because it's like, oh yeah, we're finally getting what we want, but then, you know, it starts to feel like pretty quickly like we're not getting it the way we wanted it, you know. So great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. Oh, crud. Whoops. Okay, how do we maybe just... Okay, so pressing B just straight up skips all dialogue completely. Good to know. Oh. Press L to look in the direction. Yeah, I like how Navi is like a mechanic. Like, you're not just arbitrarily targeting somebody. Navi is helping you focus on a target, which I think is interesting. Cool. This girl just keeps giggling at me. Oh god, I need 40 for this? Dang. Okay, well, I'll take 5 of yours, I guess. If you hop on these stones, you'll become happier. I'll see about that. Okay, well, I mean, I feel generally the same. I become wealthier. I keep trying to use the L stick to, not the L stick, the C stick to, oh dang. To turn the camera. I'm gonna have to really get used to that. This isn't an N64 game after all. You're a real man. Mito says I'm not a real man. Doesn't this view pretty? Change the viewpoint with up. Okay. Well, right now all I see is you, and well, I mean, Link can have an opinion on whether you're pretty or not. I'm just gonna say, yeah, you're a cute kid, but. Yeah, honestly, the image, I'm really happy with how this scaled onto my, oh dang, hold on. One more? Oh yeah, heck yeah. With how this scaled onto my, monitor, everything looks really nice. Forest Training Center, it's on the hill just above here. These kids have a freaking training center. Hey, I want to know why these kids are supposed to have like swords and shields and stuff. Oh, well, I do not have a sword yet to do any of these things with. Cut grass, okay. Press L when you see an object, you can lock onto it. Press L again, will release, or it will transfer to the next object. You have many enemies and you want to escape, press L while holding back to okay. Oh. I didn't know that. Oh, I see. So you don't have to hold it down. But you move back and you press it, and then you. Did you see? You see freaking Link's whole body angle to the side when I do that. His head just freaking it's like all the weight's in his head. Look on some move. To jump sideways with L targeting, press A. So you move left to right. Do a backflip. Oh, I know about the backflip. Roll attack. While you roll, you can avoid damage. Wait, like I have... Well, not like I don't have like invincibility. This isn't like Dark Souls. I don't have invincibility frames, I'm sure. Oh. Yeah, hold on. Why am I getting things for this? I'm pretty freaking dexterous, it's gotta be said. Oh, hold on. Really quick though, first. Hole of L. Let's go through this small hole. Okay. Hey, remember kids, don't just crawl into every small crevice you see. Okay, that's not safe. Always stay on the beaten path and never explore anything. Never get out of your comfort zone. dungeon corridors. Turn around and try to do this right now. Oh, basically them just notifying that you can look around corners and stuff that way. I freaking love Kokiri Force though. It's just so nice. This is the hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Oh, okay, if you say so. You should practice with it before you really fight. Oh sure, I'll save. I do remember this copy of the game has been known. The reason I say I will probably play Majora's Mask on it is because I think Majora's Mask might have had some problems when I do certain things. This game I remember being fine, but I remember Majora's Mask crashing, if I remember correctly. So we'll have to see. I love how your basic spin attack at the beginning of the game looks very, looks like very heavy and slow. If you just swing it, you'll cut horizontally. Hold L and just cut vertically. Not that I think... It's interesting, the little, they do put, like, some nuance into... It's like, you got that, but if I hold the stick left to right, you do horizontal slashes. If I push forward, you do stabs. If I press A, you just straight do a jump attack, which is kind of nasty looking. Then you use spin attacks. Yeah, I don't think different slashes. Well, I mean, I guess depending on what you're fighting, you know, like a vertical versus a horizontal slash might be better, or the steppers might be better. Oh, I got a freaking combo. You're dead. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Had to be done. Because Great Deku Tree is our father, the Forest Guardian. He gave life to all of us, Kokiri. Oh. Huh. And we're all just kids? Forever? What is the purpose of Kokiri? Not that you, like, all life needs to have a, you know, defined purpose. I just am wondering, like, did he just want like company? Do we have like a point for being in these woods? Oh, you know, that's a nice rupee count right there. That meaning Mido made me cut the grass of Saria's house. Mido told Saria he would do it so she would like him, but I'm the one doing all the work. You and Saria are close friends, so will you help me cut the grass? I'll let you keep anything you find while cutting it. Oh, sure. I mean, you couldn't stop me, but I didn't find anything. What the heck? This is Saria's house. I mean, yeah, they got pretty nice. I mean, she's got like a carpet. Oh, of course, Saria's house has house for you. That's nice. Okay, now that we got that, we can go to the shop. Yeah, we'll go to the shop and spend all of our money on arrows that we can't use. But not swords. Well, that's weird, but okay. No, that's all I needed. Nice. With that, we're on our way. Okay, Mito. Come on, man. Yeah. Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Mito, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how do you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree? Well, I mean, Mito, it might be because you're not like a very nice person, you know? And I, as far as I can tell, everybody seems to like be really nice and supportive of me. I'm assuming that has to do with. I would assume that's because I'm like not antagonistic to anybody ever. I could be wrong. Who knows? Who's to say? Boss of the Kokiri. For Pete's sake, Mito. Oh. Oh, dude, I didn't know you had stuff. I'm absolutely gonna take his things. Cool. There's truly an ode to pre-rendered backgrounds. You're not allowed to leave the forest. Great Deku Tree said that if Kokiri leaves the woods, he or she will die. Oh. Good heavens. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, it's a good thing that, you know, I'm never going to leave the woods as Kokiri, like, you know, so I'm not going to go talk to the Deku Tree. He's not going to ask me to go out to the woods, out of the woods. He would never do that. That'd be silly. Now this little hallway passage right here, this sticks out in my memory so much. I don't even know. Oh, I don't even know why exactly. Ow. I love this reveal too as you walk around the corner. Time has come to test thy courage. I like how they give you an option there. Like you can choose to have Link be like, you know, like a kid, and be like, oh, and I think both options really reflect the mindset of a kid, right? Because you say yeah, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm super like, you know, because kids are like can be super like oddly confident, even when they have no understanding of like the gravity of a situation. But then also you could absolutely just be like, that sounds really scary. You're like my dad, and you're sick, and and I have to fix it, and I don't know how to do that. I'm not brave enough to try and do that. I respect the stash, dude. That's how I'm trying to be, you know? I'm just trying to be Deku Tree. I love the immediate tonal shift. This is what I'm talking about. You wake up, you get the call to adventure. You gotta go get your sword and shield, you know, classic like knight archetype kind of gear, and you're going, and you know everybody's rooting for you, and you got your fairy, and and you go talk to the Deku Tree, and he says, "Link, I'm sick." Like you're the closest thing to a parent you and everybody else has, and he says, "Link, I'm sick. I need you to be brave and try to help me." He's like, there's evil coming across the land, and you're having nightmares because you're sensitive to these things. And then you walk inside, and you know, like you think you're about to be sent on this huge epic quest, and then he opens his mouth and says, basically like it's equivalent to being like, "Son, I need you to try and fix me from the inside." And you climb into him, and this is just like freaking horrible freaking. I'm getting my butt whooped. I do need to become acquainted with this again. You're not wrong. Yeah, so I always did this quest wrong. No, I know, Navi. I bet I can. I would always do this this little section wrong, because I would think, because there's a torch and you can light the sticks that you get on fire, and there's a torch, a lit torch at the top. So I would always think that, oh, you have to try to get down there fast enough to roll over with a lit stick and burn it before your stick goes out. Technically, you can do that. I've done it before. But that's not at all what you're supposed to do. That is not what the solution to this is. Confirmation that this is a beginning dungeon and is supposed to be super easy. We already have the map. Can't go up there yet because there's spiders. Thank you, Dobby. Forgive me, Master, if I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward, you'll roll into the ground where you land. You won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it'll work, though. If the cliff is, like, really, really high. Well, try it if you're feeling bold. Basically, that's like the closest thing. He just basically said, why, you know, why don't you try it anyways? Kill yourself. He hobbles away. The first of many. You get dopamine hit every single time it plays that jingle. If you want to shoot right away, when you first use C, hold down C a little longer to get a second seed ready. Oh. Oh dang, I start with 30? That's great. Yeah, I'm just gonna save every time I exit the thing. I think that's like safest. I don't know. Here's the thing though, if something bad happens and I lose a bunch of progress, or if this disc just decides, if this disc can last long enough to last me through Ocarina of Time, that's good for me. Then I can go get like a physical copy of well, I mean physical copy. I mean an N64 copy of Majora's Mask and use that instead. What do we have in the way of options? We don't have options. Silly me. All things inverted. Gosh, skull shielders are great. As if giant spiders wasn't awful enough, especially when you're like walking around as a kid. The fact that they make them look like giant skulls is awful. It's like great, like great design, but terrible. They should feel bad. Pretty sure jump attacks do double damage. Also, I'm gonna try to, on the boss in this area, I'm gonna try to do the speedrunning trick, but we'll see. Yeah, see this torch right here? I would think that you had to light it, walk out the door, which like you have to sit through the animation every time, and like roll off and hope you get to the bottom before the stick burns out. Don't know why my brain, I mean, I just thought that logically, because they're gonna teach you, like, they're gonna teach you right here, like, that sticks can burn things, right? So it's not like, looks like the torch was burning not too long ago. Yeah, it's like, logically it makes sense. Oh, I broke it. Crud. Oh, these... Something for a quest we don't even have yet. I don't think... I'll get as many gold skulltulas as I can, like, find feasibly, but I'm not, like I said, not here at 100%. Ow! I think there's a way to cut the Deku Babas in a way that like makes them stick straight up and drop sticks instead. Otherwise, you get seeds every time. It's funny, when I was little, these environments felt so much bigger. But I mean, like, really, they're very small, all things considered. Yeah, now see what you're supposed to do here. Because the camera even tilts down to show you. You're supposed to just jump off. And then miss. You're supposed to jump off and miss. Because you overcorrected. I thought that I was gonna fall too far forward, but I think Link actually that was a good shot. What the heck? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Link kind of just falls, like plummets straight down. So. You know, if we're never using a sword in his life, Link's kind of freaking nasty with it. Yeah, see, then you just fall straight through. Way easier. Makes as much sense, I guess. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you gotta do a horizontal slice. So there is a reason to do different slices. Okay, I understand. Yeah, anytime you hear that rustling sound, you gotta really check your bearings. Man, I just love the tonal shift, like the music change, because the music is so happy and whimsical when you're outside, and then you get in here and it's haunting. I mean, the area is haunting. It's very like. It's like fairly desaturated. There's nothing but the sound of spiders crawling around and like lit torches. There's the endless void of wherever the heck some of these areas actually go off to. You know, I was wondering. I was like, man, you know, I remember liking Ocarina of Time the one time I played it. And that was a while ago. I was like, am I gonna vibe with it? Oh, you can save it. If you're fast enough, you can save the sticks. Put them away before they burn. But now that I'm actually sitting here playing, I mean, I'm having a... kind of just having a good time. It's just super... it's just kind of relaxing, you know? The sort of order of operations that there is to everything. It's kind of just relaxing to do. The proper order. 23 is number 1. Do you think I'm a traitor? See, oh man, the dialogue's really interesting too. That's something I'm super excited for, is because I played all of these games, some multiple times, but I've never played them when I was older and actually like, and like the dialogue, now that I'm older, I feel like the dialogue's going to hit me more, you know? Things are gonna resonate with me more. I'm going to like actually be able to digest and think about the sort of the narrative that's being woven throughout all these games. Because I don't know, I guess it's easy to forget that, like, because a lot of these games are very open-ended and you're kind of just doing a lot of side things a lot of the time. But the narratives in these games are very good and the themes are on point. The themes are so consistent with each and every game. They're so consistently paced throughout the game that like it all weaves like they're very tight narratives together. The narrative and the themes in this game, which we will see later, we'll get more into it later, but the themes of this one, obviously you can already see. Multiple times now, characters have referred to... Mito says, oh, you're not a man unless you do this. Well, he doesn't have that. Meanwhile, we're all children. But then one of the other girls says, oh, you climbed all the way up here? Yo, you're a real man, Link. We go and talk to the we don't have a fairy, even though all the Kokiri get fairies when they become a certain age. But yet we're all stuck as kids. Can't grow up past that. The Deku tree tells us, like, hey, I know you're young, but I need you. I need you with all your wisdom and courage to come, like, to enter these grounds and lift the curse that's in me. It's very interesting. But you can see it's so early on. I mean, like, what are we? An hour and 20, and really 20 minutes of that was me rambling about nonsense. So think about that. Oh, there's a button. I see, Navi. I was like, she wouldn't have told me that unless there was something to hit, but what is there to hit? Oh. Its soft belly is weak. They're so big. Look how big they are compared to Link. I know, you don't gotta yell it at me, Navi. I've been paying attention the whole time. No, I haven't really, because I'm playing. once you've played a Zelda game, you're pretty good to go as far as controls go for most of them. All the which actually is kind of nice. Like, it's like super easy to pick one up until you get to some of the later ones, like Skyward Sword and ow. You know, honestly, this guy's attack really quick. You kind of gotta be a little careful. Oh, right, that guy's there because you need to like approaches. But yeah, my whole thing with this game specifically is that it's very clearly a huge coming of age story. That's to me has always been like the narrative that's interwoven across all these games, and I think, and like it's also very sad. It's funny. Oh. Jacob Geller. Just recently uploaded a video called, I think it's just called The Saddest Zelda Game, and where he basically breaks down many of them, 3D and 2D, and is like, hey, this one's the sad, oh, but actually this one's the saddest, oh, but actually, and then basically the conclusion that's drawn at the end of the video is, hey, they're all the saddest freaking Zelda game, because Zelda games are sad, and not in like a big in your face, like dramatic kind of way. The sadness in a lot of these games comes from just like, there's like this melancholy to a lot of them. Did another thing fall? Hold on. Sometimes you get chest spawn when you clear a room of certain enemies, and I heard another one of the things come up. Drop down, I mean. No. Doesn't seem like it. We never heard. Well, first things first. I think the things that tear me up the most though is hearing certain songs that already like make me like that already kind of get to me, but then hearing finding out what they're called, like the song that I've been using in the intro to the for all these games. I'm gonna use one song in particular, and the reason for that is because it's called Courage, and I like how immediately they establish in that little talk with the Deku Tree. That the main thing Link, the main ability Link is going to have to be able to channel in order to go on this journey is courage. Like, that's his. 23. Number 1. Nice. How did you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. It's so annoying that I'm gonna reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie. Sorry about that. I like how much personality the Deku sprouts have. There's another song, because Courage is from Twilight Princess, and it's not the super I love the super bombastic orchestrated version. That they splice that into the Hyrule theme while you're riding around Twilight Princess. And it's amazing. I can't wait to get to that. But the actual full length song is a slower kind of somber song, and it, like, I don't know, it just rips my heart out. And I think the fact that it's just called Courage, I'm getting misty just thinking about it, jeez. But there's another one too. I just call it Time. It's called Gate of Time, which I think is still very good, but I just refer to it as Time. It's from Skyward Sword, and it kind of just gives you this air of, like, there's like this air of duty to it, and it tears me up. Okay. Well, the standard affair in Zelda games is that you have the phase of side tasks and overworld adventuring, of going from point A to point B, and then you have the second phase of the game, which is dungeons. And dungeons are, like, obviously the highlight, right? I think inside the Deku Tree, I should probably do that. I should probably, like, maybe I'll convey my thoughts on each dungeon after I do it. I think inside the Deku Tree is exactly what it needs to be. It's a huge tone setter for the rest of the game, because you, I think it perfectly gets the point across of how small and kind of small and frail you are at the beginning. I mean, I don't know if you saw, I was knocked down more than half my HP by some basic sit in one place and swing at you occasionally plant guys, right? We are small and weak, and extremely frail. But I also think the environment they picked specifically, it one being the Deku Tree, who, like, everybody's mentioning the Deku Tree, and he's very revered. But then to talk to him and for him to immediately reveal that he is sick, like deathly ill, and that you need to help him, and he's this huge massive tree, and you walk inside and it's even bigger on the inside, right, than he already was on the outside. And the plants are huge, the spiders are huge, the shrub creatures are huge. Everybody's massive compared to you. I think it's a really good, it's not, like, particularly difficult, but I think as far as, like, the environment is great. I think narratively speaking it's great, and I think atmospherically, it's great. Like the tone shift from being in the woods and you know and those little kid, and no, you're a kid amongst a bunch of kids and you're all like being kids living in a little fake, you know, playing village together. Basically, and y'all got fairies, it's all whimsical and great, and you go on a little classic kid adventure. You know, you're dodging boulders and trying to scrounge money, and then you get inside the Deku Tree, and like the lighting, even the lighting shifts, and the music becomes just like this like eerie drone in the background as you're murdering spiders and trying not to die inside of your father. We're climbing in the body of our dying father. That's crazy. What the heck, man? Now time to see what this curse is. I think we can all agree this is messed up. Okay? Door shuts behind you, it becomes pitch black. You're in presumably the center of the Great Deku Tree. Probably the closest thing to where his heart would be. And you just hear crawling. And it's the same crawling you've been hearing the whole time, which means it's probably spiders. And we can see it up there. Arachnid. It doesn't even look like an arachnid. Goma is one of the parasitic monsters inside the Great Deku Tree. Its eye is vulnerable when it's bred. I keep messing up. I never realized how big this environment was. It's freaking eerie, though. Oh, I did it! That's the freaking speedrunning strat. You do the crouch stabs. For some reason, it locks her. I kind of terrorized her. I fumbled buttons at the beginning, but I kind of freaking knocked that out of the park. And as is tradition, you always get a free heart container, a full heart container at the end of every boss fight. Boss fights are great. I love the build up because you get a whole dungeon's worth of build up to them, and you're looking at the theme of the dungeon. You're wondering the whole time, oh man, I wonder what the bosses are gonna be. Oh my gosh, am I so excited for the new Breath of the Wild, because it's like, what are the bosses gonna be? Because once you fight one of the main bosses, of the main like 4 or 5 bosses in Breath of the Wild 1, you're like, okay, I can understand generally what they're going to be or what they're going to be like. They're still super cool. I actually really like them. Some of the coolest fights, but you start to pick up on generally what they're going to be, right? But with this new game, they don't have a one. I'd imagine, I don't know what given the setup, what are the bosses going to be like? Are we going to go back to like unique bosses depending on where you are? Because that would be really cool. I really like that. Haven't gotten that in a little while. It would be neat, you know. Good. Hey, cool enemies and cool bosses. I was realizing this earlier today. Cool enemies, cool bosses, that pulls me in immediately. So good. That's why that Lies of P game is looking so interesting. Because all the enemies and boss designs look great. Same thing with Atomic Heart. Anywho. Hopefully we cleaned, And after all that, we come back, you know, like, oh, we did it. We cured the Deku Tree, right? Well done, Link. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell you. Wouldst thou listen? Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast his dreadful curse upon me. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerer's powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hand on the sacred Triforce. Okay, imagine you're like what, 10? 9 or 10? Maybe? And somebody gives you explains the entire creation myth to you of your world. Something that I never... Because when you're a kid, I already skim dialogue as it is even now, right? But I retain it better, especially like in context. But when I was younger, I didn't know Ganon was the one who cursed the Deku Tree for the longest time. That detail kind of escaped me. Or if I heard that, I didn't understand the implications of Ganondorf. Spoiler alert: the main villain. was here. Not only was he here, he was presumably here the night that this last night that we were having these nightmares at the very beginning. He was in this forest cursing the Deku Tree. Who I mean, not that he has much of a choice but to stand his ground, but the Deku Tree stood his ground and did not give him what he wanted. Which we're going to find out what that was in a second. But I think it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting, and I find it, I think somebody who really captures all of like the little details and nuances in even this earliest take, like this earliest entry in the Zelda series, is Major Link on YouTube has an animated series, like full 20 to 30 minute episodes, about the Ocarina of Time timeline and characters. Ocarina of Time / Majora's Mask characters. It's very interesting. It's extremely well done. Brings a lot of. It's very introspective on the characters and like what they would be thinking and feeling. It kind of feels like it fills out the gaps because these games, they touch upon as much as is necessary for the story, because it's a video game too. It's also about the playing of everything. And I think they do it masterfully. But it's really great to see to see somebody sort of tell stories with these characters and take these characters and sort of fill out the gaps, kind of fill out, round out the edges a little bit of like how would it feel to be Link by the time he is done with both this journey and the Majora's Mask journey. Like what does it feel like to be Link at that point? It dives a lot into the psychology of a lot of these characters, and it's there's some really heavy. If you are a fan of these games, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask in particular, if you're a fan of these versions of the characters and this storyline and this timeline, I highly recommend going and checking out Major Link's videos. They are amazing. Some of the best, and the animation's good. It's like legitimately very good. The way they frame the whole thing is really cool. The way they portray Link and his dialogue is amazing. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. And that's the thing, right? That's the punch in the gut, is that after all this, Link is finding out all this stuff he didn't know about, and he's finding it out about from the person that everybody in this force looks up to. And then even after all this, we didn't save him. And I think the Deku Tree knew we weren't going in there to save him. We were only going in there to lift the curse, get rid of the monster plaguing him, probably so that when he passes on, it doesn't affect anybody else in the forest. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There thou shalt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you. The stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Navi the Fairy, help Link to carry out my will.